shit happens. Well, I have the knowledge and I have the want to be able to do something about it. And that's the beautiful part about what I'm doing in terms of ending this dysfunction. Because I already started the process of ending dysfunction for health 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I gave myself a head start. So when I got in the season of being focused on ending poverty, that dysfunction, I had that head start, so I gave myself a cushion. So I knew something like, I'm saying, I'm juggling these different things. Like I'm gonna have to hold on to ending this poverty.
I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, or I could do this.
Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. You are the #1 podcast for individuals seeking to end generational dysfunction. What's good, cuz?
Yeah. Digging in that bag. Digging in that bag of them skills. Digging in the bag of doing me, cuz. Digging in the bag of what I told y'all was going to do last episode, man. I got my grandpa number, cuz. I had to dig and get it, man, because look, man, the messed up part about it, none of his grandkids had his number. I said, wait till I get a hold of this man. I said, I'm going to check him. Yeah, I'm going to check my grandpa, for real, on some OG type of stuff. I'm going to let him know, yeah, grandpa, it hurt my feelings that I had to dig for your number. None of the cousins I talked to, because he got a lot, let me rephrase that, he got a lot of grandkids. This man probably got 100 grandkids, no lie. Because I know I got one uncle got 16 kids. My uncle kid, my daddy's full-blooded brother had 7, 8. So my daddy got 5, 6. So it's a lot, man. So, but anyway, man, I'm gonna let them know, like the ones I talked to, man. They ain't had your number. Man, it was hard to get your number, man. You know, my cousin Randy. Shout out to my cousin Randy Swanson. He had it. That's my first cousin on my dad's side. He had to ask his mama, my auntie, which is my auntie AL. Shout out to my auntie AL on my dad's side. So yeah, I got his number. Man, I called him. He didn't pick up. And I texted him. I ain't even tell him it was me. I'm just gonna surprise him. So what I've been doing is I'm gonna call that number every day. He gonna think I'm a bill collector. And if he block my number, I'm gonna call from another number. I'm gonna keep calling this number. I'm gonna text him, like, man, pick up your phone, man. For real. So that's how that's been going. And everything else, man, life been alright, y'all, man. We've been working hard. Not alright, been swelled, divine. Enormous, man. Look, man, every time I ask the chat, man, once you really dig and start really understanding who you are, understanding how powerful your words are, and understanding how powerful being you are, the universe respects you. After you start knowing how to play with the universe would not, let me rephrase that. Once you start learning how to
flow.
Once you learn how to be divine with the universe be divine with you. Yep. The universe gives you what you need, you know, because you are the universe. The universe wants to take care of itself, and you are itself. You initially want to take care. We are all one, bro. We are all one conscious.
Absolutely.
So the universe wants to play in your favor. You just gotta know how, man. And that being said, man, I've been working on my fashion designing skills more. I bumped into somebody, man, because I was supposed to, we was shooting, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna shoot this day because I'm gonna help them out. I'm gonna help BMG out. And I bumped into a brother who took fashion design, and he gonna help me out. You know, he gonna help me learn how to do more of a fashion designer. And I be telling people, you don't always have to go to the school route. I'm going the straight entrepreneur route.
Yep.
I didn't go to school for fashion design. However, I'm about to learn how to do it. I'm learning how to do it without going to school. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you for that.
Yeah, cuz, for real, man.
Manifestation at its finest.
What I tell you, cuz, what I told you about what? Before I found this, what I told you, cuz I said, man, I'm going to find somebody. I said, I don't want to pay these schools. These schools make you do all that. So I'm going to find somebody. I said, I'm going to find a melanated person. So I don't care if it's a man, woman, old person. I said, I don't care if it's a youngster. I'm going to find somebody, cuz. And I said it with my heart. And I really meant it, you know, and I didn't even know how much I meant it. Sometimes you know how you be meaning something and you don't know how much you mean it. You just be mean, you be really meaning it though. Because it be at the heat of that moment. So when you say it, you for real, you be like, man, ooh, that's how I was feeling. I'm like, oh, watch, I'm gonna find somebody. I felt like I was gonna find somebody that day. But I did. And I didn't get discouraged. It happened that me helping, guess what? Me helping the community. What happened, cuz? What I just say, Rhonda, what I say, when you give the universe and you be divine, the universe be divine with you. I divined my time to go help and spin out, you know, because BMG is community. We were speaking for women empowerment. I took my time and gave them the speech about Hair My Cat, about the Eve team. I gave them, I gave that time, and guess what the universe said? The universe said, thank you. Boom. At this moment, you will find what you asked for giving us that time. What the universe do? Boom. It bumped and hit him because he was talking. He was like, yeah, I used to do fashion design, So when he got done talking and all that, and I hit him up, I hit him up quick. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, bro, can I get your number? Yeah, Told him everything I was trying to do. And he was like, wow. Guess what he told me? He said, I've been looking for this opportunity. He said, I just never found nobody who was interested. He said, they never came to me. He said, he's been thinking about teaching this stuff, but nobody never came. I said, man, wow, it was divine. I said, I don't know about you, but I'm a spiritual person. He said, I'm a spiritual person too. I said, see, it was divine, bro. Yeah. Everybody I bump into, when you on that right path, cuz, and you on that right segment, you find the right people. Then on the other hand, with Lead Your Lineage, we about to, can I give it to, you want to slide the news if we have it?
I mean, we got to do, make it make sense and everything, you know what I'm saying? How we drop the episodes, but what's up? Talk to them.
Let them know. We might as well let them know about the Juneteenth event.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, yes.
Because when this episode, how it is, I don't know if this episode, if we going to do it already by the time, this episode, right. So we might as well talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. We got a little decent amount of time in between, so.
Yeah.
We will be filming a live podcast.
Yep.
At the Indy Juneteenth celebration at Military Park on June 17th.
Yes,
Indianapolis, Indiana.
And it's one of the biggest events, Juneteenth. It's the biggest event in Indianapolis.
Absolutely. Yeah. Over the course of the day, they're expecting 10,000 people. So we'll have a table at the event, and also we'll have the chance to film our podcast as well.
Yeah, man. And if this video come out after some of these people was there, they saw us. So they saw how we was breaking down dysfunction, man. Shout out to y'all, if y'all, you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, baby. You know.
Probably gonna drop this before then. Probably gonna drop it before then. I mean, we done spilled the date, you know what I'm saying? Usually the episode is timeless, the content is timeless, right? But we gonna put an official date of when we're doing this event. So I mean, we gotta drop it beforehand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this event going.
And like this, like we're literally doing this live right now on camera on the episode, going over what this looks like. So it's like the back end business stuff we talk about.
Yeah, you know, this is real life stuff.
It's the manifestation cuz talking about.
For real,
you know
man. This is the real life stuff, man. This is real life conversation we normally be having with our cousin, with family. How was Mother's Day, cuz? Speaking of family, how was Mother's Day?
No, I mean, I'm not really big on like the pagan holidays.
Agreed.
Like that.
But your mama is, man, and not knocking your mama.
Right. That's what I was just about to say, that my mom, she recognizes those holidays. So in honor of her, I give her flowers on those days. You know, even though I don't agree with it, and from her perspective, it can look like, or for me, somebody outside looking in, don't really like know my heart. You know, they ain't really been around me. They can probably process that as me being in my ego or something like that, along those lines. And that's truly not the case. I'm just the person that stands on truth.
Yeah, agreed.
And
I know every day.
Absolutely, I truly do. I tell my mom I love her every day. every single day. So every day she feels like it's Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the Mother's Day stuff is really caught up in doing tangible things or taking people places or whatever, right? But it's really the feeling that makes it memorable, not the things for the most part. And even if it is a thing, there's a feeling behind the thing that's done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I thought to myself, if I can make my mother feel like it's Mother's Day every day, and I don't have to recognize the pagan side of it on that day in my heart, for her sake, for where she is in her journey and on her journey, I celebrate it.
Yep. Same
for her.
Here. Same here.
Not for me, for her.
Yep.
It's a completely selfless act. So on the day of Mother's Day, she actually went to the casino, coach.
Oh man.
She went to the casino for a decent amount of hours.
At the casino?
Yeah, she went to the casino, coach. So she did that. The day before we spent time.
Did her they used to go to the casino a lot or something? What she be at the
casino? They went. Yeah. I wouldn't say a lot, but they definitely went though, for sure.
She be at the casino. Auntie said, I want to be at the casino.
They went
I
off.
made her want to go to the casino.
My parents definitely went to the casino for sure.
Would you say big gamblers? Gamblers.
My grandmother, shout out to Bertha Ransom. She was real heavy on the casino. Like she had the little picture frames on the refrigerator.
Wow.
Yeah,
because you're not a gambler.
Nah.
I don't see because that skips
you. It don't make sense to me.
It skips you.
It don't make sense to me.
What you say? Anybody be taking my
money? I'm just like, if I really went back and added up all the money that they spent on gambling, cause if I really went back, and that's tens of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. You know what I'm saying? We literally could have just, let's say we went back 30 years, right, of gambling and all that money. That's tens of thousands of dollars. What if they would have had that knowledge to put that into some type of business that could have generated it for themselves? But also, too, on the other side of the coin, they didn't have that knowledge, so they did what they wanted to do with it. They did what they knew to do. They wanted to make some money, so that's why they gambled.
Yeah.
They just had the wrong information. They could have put that tens of thousands of dollars into something else.
Cause it's almost the same as having a business, gambling. Cause that's what you're initially doing. You gambling on your product. You gambling on your skill.
You gambling on yourself.
Yeah, you gambling on yourself. Yeah.
That's how it is. Like you said, it's a gamble. They're just like thinking about all of those different things. If they would have done that, like, put that together. They just had the wrong information.
Wrong information, wrong time. We gotta remember this. We're not too far from slavery, bro.
Absolutely not.
Because I don't know your daddy, mama and father, but I know your mama, and you know they was country folks, so that means they wasn't too far from slavery for real. Themselves, their parents probably could have been
born in the 1920s and 1930s.
My point. You know what I mean? Sharecroppers, their parents.
Their grandparents was probably on the back on like the last of the prisoners of war. But they parents definitely had to do that sharecropping in the 1900s. I think that stopped around 1920s. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely know what's going on in the early 1900s. No, my grandma Mills. Shout out to Grandma Mills. She.
Who is your dad, mom?
That's my dad's mom's mom. So that's my great grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's my grandmother on my dad's side.
So it's your dad's grandma.
Yep. That was the only great grandparent that I had a relationship with.
Yeah.
And I had other great grandmother on my dad's side. She was alive when I was alive, but I don't have any memories of her. Yeah. Grandma Mills, though, she's from like the country in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And this was like, so she transitioned when I was like 4 or 5, so I was like real young.
Wow, you remember it still?
Yeah, because I remember like that moment in the house when I was that young. Like she had some oatmeal cookies. I can see the package like in my hand right now. I can see it. It was like a clear package with like 8 or 12 oatmeal cookies, and it had a yellow wrapper, a yellow label with white letters and red outline of the white letters. And I remember what the kitchen looked like. It was a kitchen table, like a small square kitchen table. The sink was right here. It was like a washer and dryer over here. The living room was over there as well. The living room was in front of the kitchen. And did she have an upstairs? I don't know. I don't think she had it upstairs. I think she had it downstairs though. I don't remember that. But I remember the living room. I remember the kitchen, cause I remember oatmeal cookies, cause.
You remember your way to the oatmeal cookies? That's what it is.
Absolutely. I got that emotional connection with oatmeal cookies and my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? That's why I started liking oatmeal cookies, cause my grandmother, my great grandmother. Let me put some respect on that.
For real.
So yeah, but man, that was where were we going with that? We was going somewhere with that.
It don't matter, cuz.
But we went in a double direction.
And you know, I'm about to say, I gotta give. I remember my great grandma. I'm gonna give. Remember, we talking about family shit.
Absolutely.
I remember my great grandma, cuz I got to a chance. See, I didn't get to be close with John Lee and Emma like that. Even though I got to do more stuff with John Lee than you did, way more. Probably because he was with Tip. But anyway. My grandma Honore, man, Honore Clark. I remember her like yesterday. Honore, and her maiden name was Honore Daniels. You know, that was my. We were super close. She loved me. She had me all. She had a whole bunch of pictures of me. As soon as you on her little dress thing, I said, man, my grandma loved me. She was from Mississippi. She was
what part?
Jackson. I don't know what part, but I know she lived in Jackson. But I know this though, and I didn't figure out this till she died. But before I get to that, she was down there. She was down there. She used to tell me stories about how she lived in farms, how she used to make. The only thing they had to go to the store for was like, I forgot what it was. It was like two things. It was like, I think it was like sugar and something, like flour or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But it was like something small because they had clothes because of the animals and everything. She said her daddy used to pull them up by this rope and they used to cut it. And she said she didn't like that all the time because the guts would come out and all that and the spill and all that shit. I said, dang, my grandma was really out there, you know.
That's that country life.
Yeah, my grandma was country, you know. Her parents was named Sherman Daniels and Mary Daniels. Shout out to them. And my grandma, anyway, by her life story, that's what we was talking about, how they went not too far from slavery and stuff. Let me tell you about this, because this is so crazy, and I naturally wrapped this around it. So years later, let me first say this before I say that. So when she first died, that's the connect that I had with death, because she made this sweet potato pie, and the sweet potato pie was so good. Even though my Aunt Ruby, which was her little sister, so that was my great auntie. Whoa, that should be my grandma auntie. That'd be my mama's great auntie. That means she was my great. She was, I don't know. She was one of my great aunties. Yep. May she rest in peace. So, and she cooked too though. So make a long story short, when she died, when my great grandma died, I was like, dang, why the food tastes different, y'all? And they was like, y'all, that's because your grandma used to cook it and all that, right? But my Aunt Ruby can cook. Because my wife had her cook and my Aunt Ruby can almost cook just as better as her. But it was just one dish I remember was the sweet potato pie. She couldn't cook that better than her. And so, make a long story short, I went to the movies one day. My grandma, she passed a long time ago. Went to the movies with my Aunt Ruby and my grandma, which is my first grandma, my grandma. And we was at the Help. We was watching the Help. I went to go take them to the Help. Took both of them to go see Help. This is young Ronnie Wrong, the street Ronnie Wrong, taking care of my grandma. I've been doing this, you know what I mean? So I've been leading my lineage. So I took them to the movies. We come out the movies, we talking about. I'm like, dang man, I'm in the back seat. You know, my Aunt Ruby right here and my grandma right there. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, man, they really used to do I'm talking. And my Aunt Ruby said, yeah, Terrell, they used to really treat us like that. I said, what? She said, me and your grandma used to be at Help. We used to be those people. We used to have to work for them white people. They used to treat us like that. They used to do this and that. She was telling me all type of stories. Cause I remember being in that back seat heated. I wanted to say, show me where they at, Aunt Ruby. Show me if they got a grandson. Anybody my age is getting it. Where they at? Let's go to the family. Let's knock on them doors. Where them doors at? Where was you at? Show me where they at. show me where they lived at. You remember where they lived at? Let's go see if they still got them houses. Hey, bro, come on, you owe me some money. It's time to pay back. You ain't about to keep disrespecting my ancestors. I'm for real. And if more of us felt like that and was more connected, that's why, and that's why they can try to chop us away from our ancestors. Tell us black folks don't talk to our ancestors, don't talk to the dead and all that. Because we'll get a connection with them and we will feel, and we'll start remembering like, dang, we buying from these people who treated our people like this. We hoping on these people who treated on our people like this. We giving so much to these people who treated our people like this. We'll be like, you know what? It's time to go back to the old days. It's time to only do us. That's why they don't want us to go back to our ancestors, man. That would make us start remembering. Y'all are not our team. This ain't no America. I'm tired of them always bringing out that flag, man. My people still getting treated like dirt. I'm not having respect for nothing until people have respect for my ancestors. I don't have to respect. I don't have to respect none of those 4 people on that damn Mount Rushmore because all 4 of those people disrespected my ancestors. And you want me to respect this country? You hanging up and you respect it, and you got all these statues of Abraham Lincoln, yeah, him too. All these people who disrespected my ancestors, and you want me to have love for this country? Bro, y'all ain't showing none of my ancestors respect. That's why they don't want us connecting with our ancestors. Because we start feeling like that.
I don't disagree with anything you said. When you know that that is the truth, right? Mm-hmm. And you can go back in ancient times and see how these patterns play out. How do you stay sane in a world that's so wicked?
Spiritually.
Break it down for us.
Man, dog, I'm about to give him that story. I told you. It's this story. If you are very spiritually, first of all, let me break this down. Haru is.
You about to go to school,
y'all. Yeah. This is something they can look up, cause this is not no lie. You know what I mean? So let me break this down. It's a story about Haru, Asar, and Aset, right? And it's all spirituality. These are people who we call deities and what they would call Egypt, but what is called Kemet. You know, these are deities of, what would they call it? Egyptian mythology, right? They call it Egyptian because it's Roman mythology. I'm just letting people so people can know on the same page. Egyptian mythology, and basically, make a long story short, Asar had a brother named Set, and make a long story short, Set killed Asar, and he chopped him up into 14 pieces. And his wife, I'm skipping a lot of stuff so I can get to the main point. And his wife went to the Nile Valley. She searched on his body. She found 13 parts of his body. She reassembled it, which was the first mummification, which is not called mummifications. I'm gonna come back to y'all again with that word, what it's really called. Start with an S, but I'm not gonna mess it up. But she did the first mummification, and during that process, she mourned over him and was sad, and his spirit came and gave her pregnancy. Ding 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 ding. The first Mary. But anyway, and during this process, she had a son named Haru, which she raised to give her vengeance. And here go the part of where I'm about to say where I keep saying, how I always keep saying where all this is coming from. This is just part of the story. When Haru went through all that, and then he eventually got to fight his uncle to revenge his father. When he was fighting him, all the 14 parts where he cut his father at, he stabbed him and was all of that. And during that process, he lost his eye, which is what we call now the third eye. He lost his eye. During the fight, he lost sight of his soul, of the spiritual world, because he was so manifested in the physical world. He had and then he started losing. So in order to win the fight, he had to regain his spiritual. And that's how he came up with the third eye. He had to regain his eye. He had to gain another eye. So make a long story short, that's how I keep up. In my eyes, what I learned from that is, yes, you can do the fight, but during the fight, don't lose the sight of this is really a spiritual. You are really more than this. I'm more than this world. I'm more than racism. I'm more than just being melanated. I am a pure being of energy.
Yeah.
And I always remember at the end of the day, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave all this. So I always remember the truth is to make sure I'm good in here and don't lose sight. Don't let them beat you spiritually.
That's great. That is great. I wanted to ask that question because this is a space I've been in.
Yeah.
Just seeing all these things play out in the world, just seeing all these different things play out, and just figuring out how I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
You and I had a conversation off camera. Like, we really in a position where we could play this any role right now. We just in that space. We just got to essentially pick a side which role we want to play. We having conversations about that.
Mm-hmm.
And with all of that being said, like the role that story plays into the wickedness of the world that we live in, like that has helped me. You explaining those things to me, like when we've talked for a minute before we started shooting.
Yeah.
But you explaining those things to me has helped me essentially be more calm about the current reality that we're in. With me, I know that this is just I'm more than just this body.
Yeah.
Like this is like a literal spacesuit. Like that's how I look at it, right? So I know I'm way more than this body. So hearing those type of stories helps fulfill and replenish my concept of spirituality. Because I can take something away from that and sit there, like when I say take something away, I can figure out what resonates with my spirit and my soul and leave what doesn't. That's how I say sane in this wicked world. Because it's really wild out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's really wild. We're having people like a Tehran or like a Kobe or like my brothers and my sisters around me. They can break down these complex things simplistically.
Mm-hmm.
That helps me stay sane.
Say that again, cuz please say that again. All those people you named are what?
Our family.
Are part of your circle?
Yeah, or a part of my circle. Like I'm at a space now. I don't even like. I think Jay-Z said this in the song, but I don't want no more friends. Like I need like.
Why not? Cuz we can meet new people.
No, I ain't say not meet new people. I said I don't want no more friends.
Okay, I see what you mean.
I got enough. Like we family.
Mm-hmm.
All my friends that started off as friends or teammates, we family now.
Yeah.
Like I shout out to my guy Bev. Like his youngest son, I'm his godfather.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Like so it's not even like that's family.
Yeah.
That's a spiritual mind. And now I'll share this too. Like the very first company I started was called Band of Brothers Realty LLC, right? And that experience there was with 3 of my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some success, but it didn't work out because we just got in, didn't know what we wanted to do. We didn't know what we were doing, but we know we wanted to do something different. Long story short, right? But like as we all we grew up together. And as we got older, we all came to the realization like this band of brothers is spiritual, it's not like business. Like this is like a spiritual walk, like y'all my guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't need no business to solidify our relationship in this world.
Oh shit.
Like we connected on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? But like business stuff cool too though. We gonna get back to that. We more mature now. We got some things rolling in. You know what I'm saying? Like we're men now.
Yeah.
Like at that time we had to We had to grow through some stuff. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
to, cause everybody and their guys go through some stuff.
Absolutely.
So, man, my guys used to fight all the time, physical fights. Me and my guy that I grew up with, man, we used to, my main guy, we used to slam each other on the head, literally. Man, I'm not.
That's why you forget stuff?
Cause I don't forget nothing. You forget something. I don't forget nothing.
Hey, that's why
I was doing more of the slamming.
That's why I be doing this.
I was doing more of the slamming. I wasn't getting slammed. I was doing more of the slamming.
No, I believe you because you're my cousin.
Man, I ain't saying talking about I don't forget nothing.
Ooh, wait.
But nah, though, cause that's part of being a brotherhood, man. See, me and my, believe it or not, me and my big brothers, we got in a fight a couple times. Me and my big brother Elijah, we got in a fight a couple times. Probably like one good serious one. But that's it.
What was it over?
Man, I don't remember, man. We was so damn young. Then I got in one time I got in a fight with my little brother. I ain't like how I did him, so I never fought him again. Never. Beat him up. I felt so bad, man. I took care of him the rest of the day. I've been a family man, cuz. Hey, I took cuz. Look, I even tucked him in. Hey, man, we can bring him on camera. He just tell you the truth. I even tucked him in that night and gave him a kiss on his cheek and told him I love him. I said, love you, man. I bought him all the candy at the store that time, you know. I bought it. Hey, I cooked for him that day, cause I did it in the morning. We got in the fight in the morning over a cinnamon roll, cause he touched my cinnamon roll with his bare. He gonna lick his fingers and touch my cinnamon roll, and I just gave him a quick jab, and I ain't know it was gonna knock him out. You know what I mean? So after that, man, me and my little brother, I ain't fighting my little brother after that. I said, hell nah, I ain't about to be doing that to my little brother. That's for everybody outside, not for people I love.
That's true.
Yeah, so, you know, but the brothers do that, though. We fight, man. Then you learn. After you fight, you learn. So, you know, that's why we teach my kids. When my kids be fighting, I told them when they get older, I'm gonna buy them some boxing gloves and some face little masks. And people like, why you gonna do that? First of all, by the time they put on all that, if they still mad, they crazy. And second of all, if they gonna really get to think, that's gonna really, while they putting that on, they gonna really get to thinking about it. Like, dang, do I feel like really getting hit in my eye? Cause the first, they don't, you know, they probably do it the first time. When the first time they gonna learn, ooh, that hurt it. Or, ooh, look at my little brother. I should have did that to him. I'm gonna let them see you. You don't want to do one hurt your people. Because now your brother got something messed up with him. Now you gotta hold the ice pack over his head all day because I'm gonna make it. Or now you gotta hold the ice pack on your sister's eye all day because I'm gonna make it. You know, so it's a process to the man. It's showing like you don't want to be aggressive with your family. That's something I be doing with my kiddos. You know what I mean? I don't know how we got to that.
I don't know. We just falling.
Hey, talking about the kids now,
Absolutely.
man. For real, they growing, man. And hey, it's a process with this. I don't know if I said that, man, but one thing I'm learning is don't be on no schedule. Because be on a schedule, but don't have to be on their schedule. The schedule they give us. You know, I'm learning, man, that they really did that in order to train you to work on their time, to train you to be a worker. So what I'm learning is I'm learning her schedule. I'm learning my son's schedule. When the best time are you? When's the most time are you active? When's the most time you learning more? When's the most time you more interested in learning? So the process of learning can go easier and faster. We be think about it, cause how much did you really learn in the morning, man? You can't learn that much in the morning.
I'm an AM person.
Man, a little kid. Man, you ain't.
I had good grades in elementary school. You talking about like your children age?
Period. Even when you even when you in elementary shit.
I wasn't in school yet.
Even when you get
when I was like 4 to like Capri and Tehran, I wasn't in school yet.
I'm talking about even in elementary, even in middle school.
I had good grades, so it worked. It worked for me.
You be tired.
It worked for me. I was good because I had practice starting in 3rd grade. So
shit, man, I was that kid knocked out with y'all. Everybody that was asleep, I was that boy asleep in the back of the classroom.
But what time were you born though?
What time I was born?
Yeah.
Shit, like I was born in the morning.
Like was it like nighttime outside? It was like
I'm a morning person, but I'm not a morning and listen until you talk all damn day to me person. I can get something done in the morning. Like, say if I gotta do something for the rich people, you know me, cuz I'm up. As soon as I wake up, I got energy.
Yeah,
that's
how it's supposed to be naturally.
I don't wake up and want to hear all that lecturing. It's the difference. You can have the energy, but your mental, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to hear all that shit.
But that just speaks to the root. That just speaks to like a rising routine, though. Like for me, I get up. I want to make sure that I'm in control of the first hours of my day. So I'm doing what I want to do. Like a lot of people that aren't in control of the first hours of their day, they might not have that privilege. I'm gonna call it a privilege.
Yeah.
It's really a choice. I'm gonna use the word privilege though. So they might not have that privilege because of their choices.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm choosing to be an entrepreneur, and I'm choosing to work a job part time. My part-time job is in the afternoon from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. Before that, I'm in entrepreneur mode. So as soon as I wake up, that's entrepreneur mode. As soon as I rise up, that's Shine LLC. Like the most important thing is me when I get up. I mean, and this will change when I have children. Yeah. Of course, they gonna, you know what I'm saying. They gonna like cuz been telling me, they gonna need you. Yeah. Before you need you, they gonna need you. You know what I'm saying?
When you wake up, they need something before your mouth get thirsty.
Yeah, so that's you know what I'm saying. So cuz been putting me on game about that and whatnot. Like from now till I have some children here Earthbound, it's Shine LLC. Hey man, it gotta be because I can't pour into my partner if I don't pour into myself first.
Real talk, man. You know I'm always the number one advocate of taking care of yourself first, man. You got to. That's why it's called lead yourself before you lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. You don't say that for no reason.
Absolutely. Damn right. Because it's a lifestyle.
It's a real lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Man, hey, I didn't even ask you this. Let me ask you this, man. What you doing this week to end generational dysfunction, cuz? Speaking of it, what you doing this week, cuz?
This week, I am.
What you working on?
Getting the back end of. So the generational dysfunction I'm working on is poverty right now. Yeah. I'm in that poverty space.
Okay.
I'll say this too. I'll be transparent about this. In this ending of dysfunction from a poverty perspective, I felt my health take a decline. I felt it, and I'm plant-based, right?
Yeah.
But I felt the changes in my body as I'm putting in these hours to be able to create this product and to get in alignment with all these different things.
Yeah. So
I've been heavy on business, and I've neglected myself to a certain degree.
I'm glad you're being transparent.
I'm just keeping it real.
What was you did? I ain't gonna cut you off, but this is a question that they probably thinking too.
Hey, what's up?
What was you did different?
Huh?
What was you did different?
What would I have done different?
Yeah.
What I would have done different was I would have put more intentional time into being able to put myself in a position first where I'm able to essentially get up earlier in the day.
Okay.
So when I get up earlier in the day, I would be able to, like, say for instance, I get up at 5. Like I'll naturally get up at like 6.
Mm-hmm.
I get up at 5, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And I can be intentional about that hour, where I can be like, yo, okay, let me get this done between this and this, so I don't even got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I could have been intentional about
being more intentional, more time management, but you don't like calling it that.
It's priority management.
Yeah.
I prioritize business more, like in this past season.
Yeah.
I prioritize business over my health, and I felt the decline. Like I felt my body being dehydrated.
can't do that, cause that's
Right,
one
right,
of the
right,
biggest.
right.
That's one of
That's
the
what I'm saying.
biggest dysfunctions.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the biggest dysfunction you working on.
That's what I'm saying. So that's that trade off. That's that what I was talking about in previous episodes, like having that rhythm. Like it's really like I don't believe in balance, and I'm really like living like that life that entrepreneurs be talking about. Like yo, I be doing X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z. So I'm seeing in myself now. If I didn't make that transition to a plant-based lifestyle,
Yeah,
I didn't probably be in the hospital right now. But I took care of myself though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm glad.
I made that transition years ago to be able to pour into myself to correct those health issues I would have ran into. What?
Yeah.
This what year is this? I had meat since 2017.
Oh.
So it's year 7?
Yeah.
No, year 6. I'm tripping. Year 6. If I would have been still eating the same way I would have done like 7 years ago, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here right now. I'd have been through something chronic.
Fat boy.
For real. I was.
Fat boy.
I was 236. Cause I'd probably be pushing 300 right
Look
now.
like you was eating.
If I didn't
the whole
cuz-
cow.
Yeah,
Because you was eating the brisket, the rib.
yeah, for real. If I didn't change my lifestyle, cuz I would
Leg,
probably be pushing 3. Real talk. But I was 236 when I started my journey.
Cow heart.
Yeah, all that. I want to ain't no testicles though. I'm cool.
I wasn't gonna say that. That's not even on the cow though. You thinking of a bull.
Yeah, I ain't
And that's
doing
what most
that.
people eat, man. I ain't
no chitlin, no KY, I ain't doing none of that. But yeah, cause like real talk, man,
that's the biggest one, cause that you gotta get better on that, man. I know they.
No, it's coming. That's what I'm saying. It's coming.
I know.
I just had to jump in that season though. Because
How did you lose sight? How do you think you lost sight?
Being focused on business and being focused on ending poverty. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like just being an entrepreneur, because that shit happens. Well, I have the knowledge and I have the want to be able to do something about it. And that's the beautiful part about what I'm doing in terms of ending this dysfunction. Because I already started the process of ending dysfunction for health 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I gave myself a head start. So when I got in the season of being focused on ending poverty, that dysfunction, I had that head start, so I gave myself a cushion. So I knew something like, I'm saying, I'm juggling these different things. Like I'm gonna have to hold on to ending this poverty. So this health gonna have to be in the air for a little bit. But I'm catching it though. It's on its way down. It's in my hand now. Mm-hmm. Now I'm back on my gallon a day. I'm back on my seeded grapes. It's watermelon season now, so we about to get in that seeded watermelon, real heavy.
Go to Costco, they got the best watermelons.
Seeded watermelons?
Yeah, seeded.
I'm gonna have to check them. I'm gonna have to check them out.
Any type of watermelon, because I know some people just want watermelon. They got seeded, unseeded.
You definitely need the black seed joints. Black seeded joints for sure. Black seeded. For sure. But that's the one I'm working on, because getting back into the health. But I gave myself that head start prior to. So which dysfunction are you working on right now? What you working on?
Well, the one I've been working on this week is spiritually. I've been reading more into Meta-Natter. Dysfunction, I'm gonna keep it 100. It is a dysfunction to believe and to practice your oppressors. I'm saying that right. Your oppressors, all right.
What you mean? Like practice their
religious ways.
Their lifestyle.
I'm talking about the religious ways specifically. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the religious ways. I'm fixing that dysfunction, in my opinion. You can have yours, how I'm doing that is I'm going back into our religious ways. I'm reading the Meta-Natter. I'm practicing the 42 laws of Ma'at. I'm going over it. Believe it or not, whatever religion you practice, it comes from our ancestors, because most people watching this is melanated like us. It comes from our ancestors. So why not end the generational dysfunction of going through something that they gave us to keep us down, to not know who we are, to hate our ancestors. What I said earlier, to hate our ancestors. Mm-hmm. It teaches you to hate our ancestors, to hate thyself. to give you false history. Like, you know what I mean? It's to throw you off. I'm gonna keep it 100. If you go look, I was studying before I came this past. If you go study the handbook of where it teaches, I forgot the name, it was like the bishop or something like that handbook. But it breaks down when you study a ministry, when you study you about to become a pastor or whatnot. They give you this book and it breaks it down. What people don't know is that according to the Christian Bible, that the world is 4,000 years old. So the world started in 4,000 BC. So why would they pick 4,000 BC? Why? Because they don't want you to know what's going on, everything that happened before the 4,000 BC. Because for 4,000 BC, you know, that's when it start breaking down. And that's BC is before Christians, but I say before Caucasians. Because after, no, for real.
I know, so I'm just laughing at
because
Ooh,
after BC, it's nothing but, that's when they start taking over, you know, but we ruled the BC times, you know, especially, they start taking over like 325, 323 BC, I think, around, that's when they start taking over Kemet. But anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm digging and I'm learning books like the religious instructions of the Negro. I'm learning this and learning the dysfunctions that they put in our minds. They actually tell you and break it down. How that book right there would tell you and break it down how they going to use Christianity to make us dysfunctional. Like it literally breaks it down. Cause I'm reading Willie Lynch to learn why do they give us certain religions and why they give us certain pattern ways to break down my dysfunction. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it spiritually. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to the 42 laws of Ma'at. I'm going to Kemet. I'm studying the Dogon. I'm studying the Meta Netter. I'm looking at the mirrors, which is the Sphinx. I'm looking at the mirrors. The mirrors don't have any Meta Netters on them. Everything else does. I'm studying who Harry Marquette is spiritually. So like that story I just told you, even though I've been knowing about the story of Haru, Asar, Asar, Haru, and I said I'm starting to study it more and break it and learning more about the story and learning the spiritual meaning behind it. And after I'm learning the spiritual meaning behind it, I'm practicing it. And after I'm practicing it, I'm opening up doors of powerness and more of coming, and I understand my pathway of why I'm here. It makes my dysfunctions easier to end. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's why I do such and such. Okay, for instance, like I told my grandma, stop wearing the white gloves. This is in, man, well, I'm speaking facts, cuz. Stop me if you don't want me speaking facts, cuz. This is in the book. Charles Cochran Jones, that's his name. The instructions of religions, the instructional religions of the Negro. You know why they wear them white gloves, cuz? You know, have you ever went to church and those bishops, they be wearing their white hands and they keep their hand, the ushers, who whatever their names are, I think they call ushers or something, they know who I'm talking about. But they lead you to their seat and they be wearing the white gloves and all that. Yeah. And they be keeping their hand and they back.
I didn't really go to church like that, but I know what you're talking about.
You know.
I did. I was having this conversation with Kobe.
No, cuz it wasn't funny. It's just how you just said it so nonchalant. You know, you naturally funny. It's just how you did it. But but you know what I'm talking about though. The reason why they wear them white gloves, you know why? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm learning to end generational dysfunction. That's a generational fucking dysfunction right there, whether people know it or not. They used to wear them white gloves because they said black folks' hands was dirty and they didn't want to get no germs or diseases from us. Because you know because we had to make sure they see, we had to pass them the Holy Bible and all that, and people didn't want to touch the Bibles after black people touched it because they didn't want to get sick or nothing. So they had to start making them wear these white gloves, and they had to keep a hand behind their back because when they pass the money, you got to keep an eye on the black folks because black folks steal. I'm not lying, cuz. I'm not lying to you, bro. That's a dysfunction, cuz. We got to start being aware of these dysfunctions. We gotta start being aware of these dysfunctions, even little dysfunctions like that. We gotta start being aware, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing this week. That's what I've been practicing on. Finding them little things, man, and then nick them in the butt. God damn it, y'all ain't about to keep destroying me spiritually. I'm working spiritually. I'm working to learn who I am. I'm practicing what my ancestors practiced, because my ancestors didn't practice it, nothing to harm me. My ancestors gave me nothing but empowerment. You start reading the Meta Netter, that's nothing but empowerment. That little story I told you, that's empowerment. If you read it your damn self, you'll read something that I skipped over and that was more important to you. Because everything I said was what I grasped. I gave a short story, but that was everything I thought was important. Your short story probably be different. Study our people, study our religion. I'm tired of hiding that, cuz study what, it's not even a religion. Study what is going to empower you. It's a dysfunction to study and to practice something that wasn't given to you to empower you. That was given to you to keep you slave-minded. That was given to you to make you hate yourself, to not know thyself, to make you not read history. As soon as you talk to history about black folks, they talk about the Bible.
Right, it's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that.
It's deeper than that too.
Man, that's powerful, cuz. I think it's been a very informative episode.
Did I say something wrong, cuz?
No, absolutely not. You just got me over here thinking, cuz. Thinking about a lot of stuff going on, like in my personal life and like in the world too. You know what I'm saying?
That's a dysfunction that we probably don't even know that was given to us.
I'm just reflecting on everything, cuz. Look, you speaking a lot of truth, cuz. Speaking a lot of truth. Well, like I said, I'm just looking at the words that you said, and I'm applying that to my life and how dissecting all of these different things that you're saying. So I'm just seeing how I'm filtering all this stuff out. I'm like, damn, okay, I see I did that. Okay, I see a lot of people do that. I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm just going through that whole process in my head as you're speaking.
Yeah, it's a dysfunction. It's disrespecting our ancestors. We don't even know. And in their quote-unquote Bible, which they stole most of that stuff from the Meta-Netters, and this says this in the Bible, but which they got it from the Meta-Netters. Which is, dang, let me let them know, I keep saying Meta-Netters. Hieroglyphics, okay. But which this is in the Bible, which they stole from the hieroglyphics. You live longer if you respect I don't forget how the Bible says, but it basically said like you live shorter days if you don't respect your ancestors. You live longer days if you do respect your ancestors.
Yep.
What race lives the least days? Black, melanated. What race is the only race that don't respect their ancestors? Melanated people. Everybody else respect their ancestors. They don't play. You can't go talking about no George Washington to no white folk, whether they his bloodline or not.
Oh, that's real. That's real. Nah, I think that message there needs to be communicated to our young people specifically. Now I say that because their parents, or our parents, really didn't talk about. Well, let me speak for myself. My parents really didn't talk about my ancestors like that, for real, for real. Mm-hmm. My parents never had a conversation. Yeah, my grandfather was doing this, or I ain't never had that conversation with my parents.
My daughter knows it. She right. Out of the blue, she be saying tipping ain't easy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's a dysfunction that you're ending as well. So, fam, it's a lot of dysfunctions surrounding our literally ending, and we can be here for all day, months talking about this. Like, legitimately, like, truth be told, we can be here for months talking about this shit. Like, if we went straight through, we'll be here for months. And
we'll be forgetting stuff still.
Right.
Hey, cuz, and be honest, we'll be reminding each other more than anything. Hey, cuz, don't be sleeping on yourself. Remember, you be doing that.
Absolutely. So, like, this whole conversation of ending generational dysfunction is so deep, it's so vast, it's wide, it's deep, it's universal, it's evergreen, it's everlasting. I just want people to make sure that you don't stop and keep continuing to identify those dysfunctions within yourselves and within your family, because these are conversations that need to happen. They literally need to happen with your circle, your family, and with yourself first. To keep it all the way 100, you need to have these conversations with yourself first. But you need to get to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, it's really hard to communicate with everybody else. If you don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? I have a phenomenal book to help you with that. Knowing the Stranger Within, Volume 1, May 31st. It's available.
I was just about to say
I don't know when y'all watching this. You know what I'm saying? But May 31st, it's available. Make sure y'all go check it out. NoInsuranceWithin.com.
.com, baby.
I had to throw that in there.
Man,
I love you.
No, I was gonna throw it in there. I promise I was gonna say something about your book. Just when you said something, I was about to cut you off like,
we here, you know what
hey,
I'm saying? We with it.
I was about to say something about your book, man. But
Absolutely.
yeah, cuz, man, you ended it perfectly, man. The only thing I gotta say is this, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, man. Especially if you enjoyed this video. And make sure you like and subscribe and show family. Make sure you sit in front of this with family, people in your circle. And like Cuz said, when we say family, we mean people in your circle. So we're going to end it right there.
Yeah, family. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And as we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. Lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. Lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. Until next time, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
I'm about to go home. Rub on Nadia booty. He said, "Oh, good acting."